Yeah, if you want. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you all. Thank you.
That is Trump and Cash celebrating the successful D-Nut trade. Absolute craziness. Had a shit ton of those 3.5s. I had to sell on the first pump because I got out at 640. Then I rolled up to some 4s. It's up here somewhere currently. Let's see what happens with it. Last time it moved and then GoPro moved. So if GoPro can take out that high tomorrow, it could go, possibly. Okay. Netflix, even though I had covered this because I've been trading this for a while, and my position that I swung in, remember I was trading the 1300s, rolled down, they were up 37%, but it sucks to get hit with the fucking Brazilian tax issue out of left field. So thankfully I had it covered. It's still within the megaphone though, but remember, grabbed a bit again over here, sold, grabbed there, but it still sucks. It would have deserved to go nevertheless, but miss. Okay, so on watch tomorrow, D-Nut. Now do know that when you catch something like this, contracts are going to be absolutely wonky and fried. They're not as cheap anymore, obviously. That's why you're in something like this. Is he gonna pull a Beyond Meat? I don't know, but I sure as fuck would have loved to stay in this longer. So anyways, as far as Tesla, I have that 642 Ghost. If tomorrow in the close some 460s are cheap and I've been money, sure, I'll try it. But there is a big short opportunity here. This identical pattern is ridiculous, first of all. But you've come up here, you're doing nothing unless we can start something like we had here, where you're going up and down and you got some movement in the range. You've now tested this breakdown area. And if tomorrow is weak, you get a final hour low and you could pick up some selling. Now, obviously, we've gone over this many times. We have a 607 ghost candle marked here on QQQ to come back test that area here. So if it's some bogus selling that isn't real, and basically you're looking at this as a cup and you get a little bit of a pullback halfway, I would play calls into this CPI report, okay? But for the next few days, tomorrow's open will be interesting. You got an early low. Usually it's a bearish day with a final hour low. If it's strong, the market is, and before everybody else starts talking about it, it's got a possibility here to perform. I think it's the 19th breadth thrust, the Zweig breadth thrust. That is what it did in April out of those lows, okay? So if the breadth is decent the next few days, it will trigger on Friday. And last time it triggered was in April. And what it then triggers is just a melt up. Okay? And that's how, because they gotta stick some type of label on it and not say that it's completely manipulated. But that's how you ended up from here all the way up there, right? Okay, now if we look at this, we have a trend change on Friday. So starting tomorrow, we're gonna be in the window of it. You do have a possible turn up here, but I would be very, very cautious here. How I played it today, and I had plenty of great SPY scalps. But for instance, that one we hit with Groove Daddy and Newbie. I think it was this one, like selling to the fucking 9. Maybe it was one of them. Anyway, we had a perfect sell on it. I don't like that we're going nowhere. You could even say this is a head and shoulders, which then means that gap fill is the origin, or you know you can. So I don't like going up and then going nowhere. This is starting to look like it's rolling over. The question is, how low does it go? There's plenty of spots. There's the 21, there's the 89, there's the gap itself, there's the gap fill, there's the trend line, there's the range, there's the 200. So there's plenty of spots here. We cannot at this point discount that something bad happens and this happens again. Just because the sports calendar hasn't printed another sell yet doesn't mean it doesn't come, right? We also now, because of this breadth thrust, have an explanation if this were to happen. Like, that's what this is, okay? So we got to keep an eye on it and not get screwed. Could have lived without the Netflix, but at the same time I hit the D nut and I had a shit ton of calls. And even though it sucks on Netflix, as I said, I had plenty of unrealized gains in there, so it doesn't really sting. Plus I've been playing it. After hours we saw something interesting. We had Avgo pop and we had Google pop, while Amazon got shaved. Tesla also got shaved. I'm glad I sold my Tesla up here today. I don't know if I'm gonna play it on earnings. Kind of depends on what I see. But if it's meme time, it's meme time. After hours, Hood did hit my alert. I don't know what's going on over there. The MOC was fine. That's a little too high though. But nothing like alarming as of yet, besides everything, because this is real just something doesn't feel right with this market. And what it is tomorrow is the expiration. And if you go and look at the VIX chart, you've never seen a 3-day smash like this, percent wise, just like consecutive. So tomorrow is the expiration. Usually you'll get a crazy move on the day of or the day after. If you don't get that, we have to pay attention to SPY and its premiums, okay? So it's all gonna be about Friday. And here you see all the dark pool buys that have come in. We still haven't taken out these sells. We do have a fresh ghost candle that puts in a high above this. I believe it's at 673.66. Right there, to go hit this high again, which would be pretty crazy. We'll see if it does it tomorrow on some bogus news. But what I wanted to look at was this. So tomorrow is the 22nd. Okay, fantastic. So you're here. As of right now, 674, 669. This seems pretty packed as level to level chop. This 663 is the biggest for tomorrow. Now that, if you sell down there tomorrow, that's a pretty nice short. The funny part of it is, if this is a W cup, because look at where the low is, right? That would just be a pullback. That would absolutely give anything up here for end of the week at a discount. So tomorrow we're gonna be eyeing the short out of the gate at some point, okay? With that said, now that you got your speedos on there in your chair, let's look a little further. This is Thursday. Also has the biggest activity down here for whatever reason. And Friday always have these, but like if you do sell down and that CPI is shit, you end up here. The other option that would catch everybody by surprise is to send us up to here. Okay, so I'll be looking at kind of how this looks. I do feel like sending it right now to 680 might be a little bit premature. So not that I want to say it, but I do favor a little bit of downside here. Just looking at this shit, because it's not always you just hang out for no reason whatsoever with the inside 4 hour here, waiting on, you know, that's a double 4 hour, right, on US 500. So that's gonna give a move very, very soon, probably overnight. And the other option is just for this to start doing this at a slow pace. Okay, as far as the calendar, tomorrow, we gotta go a little bit up here. Tomorrow we have Tesla earnings and IBM, I believe. No huge data. Obviously the meeting with Putin was supposedly cancelled, etc, etc. Tomorrow might be a shit day. Home sales Thursday. But I think the market is just hanging out and waiting on this special surprise right there, and then get Michigan after that. So Friday's gonna be straight habanero. Okay, so again, please prepare for that. And maybe I'll scalp tomorrow if the action is good. If the action is shit, like today, not a big fan to scalp this tight of a range. Even with the VIX coming down, it's not down enough for that price range type of scalp. So the fact that we got 37 and 50 and 60% was pretty epic, because you would like the VIX to be down here. Now if the VIX comes down here, then it's party time. I have no problem scalping. You know, you make a lot of money on a move like this. But when the VIX is elevated, not so much. So becomes a question, is the VIX-D back in this party range or is it not? The premiums did not suggest a gap up tomorrow. And if you don't gap up tomorrow, I'm gonna take some pretty puts. Okay? God bless.
We're riding with the moon.